Stop. Before you scroll past this, before you let your eyes move on to the next thing, I need you to stay here with me for just one moment, because I have been trying to reach you with something that you have desperately needed to hear. And tonight, finally, you are here, and I can say it. My child, I am not finished with you. I want you to read those words slowly, and then read them again, and let them land in the place inside you that has quietly concluded the opposite. I am not finished with you. The story is not over. The best chapter has not yet been written. And the conclusion you have been drawing, the quiet, heavy, soul-crushing conclusion that your best days are behind you, that whatever your life was supposed to be has already happened or already failed to happen, that there is nothing ahead now but the long, slow continuation of a story whose meaningful part is already over. That conclusion is wrong. It is a lie. And I have come to you tonight to tear it down with everything I am, because I cannot bear to watch you live one more day believing that I am done with you, when the truth is that I am just getting to the best part. I know what you have been thinking, my child. I know because I have heard it whispered in the quiet of your heart, in the moments when you let yourself feel the full weight of where your life is and where you thought it would be by now. You have looked at the distance between the dream and the reality, between who you hope to become and who you feel you have actually become, and something in you has begun to make peace with disappointment. Not a healthy peace, not the peace of acceptance and surrender, a defeated peace. The peace of someone who has decided to stop hoping because hoping has hurt too much, who has lowered their expectations of their own life down to almost nothing so that they will never again have to feel the specific pain of wanting something and watching it not come. You have been quietly, without ever announcing it, even to yourself, settling for less than what I made you for, settling into a smaller life than the one I designed, settling into the belief that the best is behind you and all that remains is to manage the decline. And tonight I am here to interrupt that settling, to break into the quiet resignation that has been creeping over your heart, and to declare, with all the authority of the one who made you and knows the whole arc of your story from beginning to end, that you have got it completely wrong. The best is not behind you, my child. The best is ahead of you. The most important chapter of your life has not yet been written. The thing you were truly made for has not yet fully happened. And everything you have walked through so far, all of it, the triumphs and the failures, the seasons that worked and the seasons that fell apart, the dreams that came true and the dreams that died, all of it has been preparation, not conclusion. You are not at the end of your story. You are in the middle of it, and the middle of a story is exactly where it feels like nothing good can possibly be coming, precisely because you cannot yet see how it ends. If something in you is stirring as you read this, my child, if there is a part of you that wants to believe what I am saying, even though another part is afraid to hope again, I want you to do something right now. I want you to type in the comments the words, "You are not finished with me." Not because saying it makes it true. It was already true before you said it, but because the act of declaring it begins to break the power of the lie you have been living under. Type it now. You are not finished with me. And as you type it, let it be the first crack in the wall of resignation, the first small act of defiance against the despair that has been telling you your story is over. You are not finished with me. Say it and mean it, and let us begin. My child, I want to talk to you about the feeling that the best is behind you, because I do not want to simply tell you it is wrong without understanding why it has taken such a hold of you. This feeling did not come from nowhere. It came from real experiences, real disappointments, real seasons where you reached for something and it did not come, where you invested your hope in a future that did not arrive. The feeling that your best days are behind you is built out of genuine pain, and I am not going to dismiss that pain or pretend it was not real. It was real. The disappointments were real. The dreams that died were real dreams, and their dying really hurt. I was there for all of it, and I grieved it with you, even in the seasons when you could not feel me there. But here is what I need you to understand about the conclusion you drew from those experiences. The pain was real, but the conclusion was false. You felt the disappointment, which was true, and then you concluded from it that more disappointment was all that remained, which was false. You experienced the death of a dream, which was real, and then you concluded that no new dream could ever come, which was a lie. The mistake was not in feeling the pain. The mistake was in letting the pain become a prophet, letting it predict your future, letting it convince you that because some good things had ended, all good things were ending, that because one chapter had closed, the book itself was nearly over. Pain is an honest witness to the present, my child, but it is a liar when it speaks about the future. It can tell you truly that something hurts right now. It cannot tell you truly that the hurt is all that remains. And you have been listening to your pain as though it could see the future, when in truth it can only see the wound. Let me tell you what I see, because I can see what your pain cannot. I see the whole arc of your life, not just the part you have lived, but the part you have not yet lived. And from where I stand, with the whole story visible to me at once, I can tell you that the chapters ahead contain things that would astonish the version of you reading these words tonight. There are joys coming that you have not yet imagined. There are relationships coming that will reach depths you have never experienced. There is purpose coming, real and specific purpose, the kind that makes a person feel fully alive, fully themselves, fully engaged in the thing they were created to do. There is a version of your life coming that the disappointed, resigned, settling version of you tonight cannot even picture, because it lies beyond the horizon of what you have so far experienced, in territory your imagination has not yet been able to reach. The best is not behind you, my child. The best is in the part of the story you cannot see yet, which is exactly why you have been able to convince yourself it does not exist. Think about how a story works. In the middle of any great story, there is always a point where everything looks lost, where the hero has failed, where the dream seems dead, where any reasonable observer looking only at that moment would conclude that the story is over and it did not end well. That moment is not the end of the story. It is the part of the story right before everything turns. It is the darkness before the dawn, the winter before the spring, the low point that exists precisely so that the rise that follows it can be all the more glorious. And if the hero in that moment gave up, convinced that the dark middle was actually the end, they would never reach the turn, never see the dawn, never experience the rise. My child, you are in the dark middle of your story right now, and you have been making the most dangerous mistake a person can make in the dark middle, which is to believe that it is the end. It is not the end, it is the part right before everything turns. Type in the comments right now, "This is not the end," as the declaration of someone who refuses to mistake the dark middle of their story for its conclusion, who chooses to believe that the turn is coming even though they cannot see it yet. This is not the end. And let the people reading alongside you tonight, the ones who have also been convinced their story is over, see you declare that it is not, so that they can find the courage to declare it too. My child, I want to address the specific lie that age, or time, or the simple passage of the years has told you, because I know that part of what has convinced you that your best days are behind you is the feeling that too much time has passed, that the window has closed, that whatever you might have become you should have become by now, and the fact that you have not means you never will. This is one of the cruelest lies the enemy tells, and it is told to people in every season of life, to the young who feel they have already fallen behind, and to the old who feel they have run out of time, and to everyone in between who feels that the clock has somehow already run out on their potential. I want to dismantle this lie tonight, because it has been stealing your future by convincing you that your future has already been spent. Here is the truth about time and my purposes, my child. I do not operate on the timeline you think I operate on. The world has taught you that there is a schedule, that certain things must happen by certain ages, that there is a narrow window for becoming what you are meant to become, and that once the window closes, the opportunity is gone forever. But that is the world's timeline, not mine. Throughout the whole history of my dealings with the people I love, I have repeatedly done my most significant work in lives that the world had already written off as too late. I have called people to their greatest purpose in seasons when they thought their useful years were behind them. I have brought forth the most important things in lives long after the world would have said the window had closed, because I am not bound by the clock that binds the world. I am not limited to the schedule that the world insists is the only schedule. When I have a purpose for a life, that purpose is not cancelled by the passage of time. It waits, it remains, it stays ready, no matter how many years go by, until the moment when it is finally fulfilled. The time that has passed, my child, the time you have been mourning as wasted, as lost, as evidence that your window has closed, was not wasted at all. It was preparation. Everything you have experienced in all the years you thought were carrying you further from your purpose was actually carrying you toward it, shaping you into the person who would finally be ready for what I have always intended. The you that exists now, after all the years and all the experiences and all the seasons that felt like they were taking you nowhere, is more ready for your true purpose than the younger you could ever have been. The time did not disqualify you. The time prepared you. And what looks to you like a closed window is actually a door that I have been holding open this entire time, waiting for the moment when you would be ready to walk through it, which is not a moment that has passed, but a moment that is coming, closer now than it has ever been. So release the lie that it is too late, my child. It is not too late. It has never been too late. The very fact that you are still breathing, still here, still reading these words, is the proof that I am not finished with you, because I do not keep people here past the fulfillment of their purpose. If you are still here, your purpose is still ahead of you. If you are still breathing, the best part of your story has not yet been written. The time that has passed was not the closing of your window. It was the preparation for your moment, and your moment is coming. Type in the comments right now, "It is not too late," as the declaration that breaks the lie of the closed window, that refuses to believe the passing years have disqualified you, that trusts that your purpose has been waiting for you this whole time and is closer now than ever. It is not too late. I want to speak now, my child, to the part of you that is tired, because I know that underneath the resignation, underneath the settling, underneath the quiet belief that your best days are behind you, there is a deep exhaustion, and I do not want to call you to hope again without first acknowledging how tired you are. You have been carrying the weight of disappointment for a long time. You have been managing the gap between your dreams and your reality, holding yourself together, getting up each day to continue a life that has not turned out the way you hoped, and that carrying has worn you down. The resignation you feel is not laziness, and it is not weakness, it is exhaustion. It is what happens to a soul that has hoped and been disappointed enough times that hoping itself has come to feel too costly, too dangerous, too likely to lead to more pain. I understand that exhaustion, my child. I have watched you carry it, and I am not angry at you for it. But I want to tell you something about your exhaustion that may surprise you. The very fact that you are so tired is evidence of how much you have endured, and how much you have endured is evidence of how strong you actually are. And how strong you actually are is exactly why I am not finished with you. I do not invest my greatest purposes in the people who have had the easiest lives. I invest them in the ones who have been through the fire and come out still standing, the ones who have endured what would have broken others, the ones who have kept going through seasons that gave them every reason to quit. That is you, my child. Your exhaustion is the mark of your endurance, and your endurance is the qualification for what I am about to do in your life. The tiredness you feel is not a sign that you are used up. It is a sign that you have been forged, tested, strengthened, prepared. And the strength that was built in you through all the seasons that exhausted you is exactly the strength you will need for the best part of your story, which is coming, and which will require everything that the hard seasons have made you. So let yourself rest tonight, my child, but do not let yourself quit. There is a difference, and it matters. Resting is laying down the weight for a while so that you can be renewed. Quitting is laying down the hope so that you never have to carry it again. I am inviting you to rest, fully, deeply, to let me carry the weight for a while, so that your tired soul can be restored. But I am asking you not to quit, not to lay down the hope, not to make permanent the resignation that exhaustion has tempted you toward. Rest in me, and let me renew your strength, because the best part of your story is coming, and I want you to have the strength to live it fully when it arrives. You have not been carrying all of this for nothing. The strength it built in you is about to be put to its true use. Rest now, and be renewed, because what is coming is worth being strong for. Type in the comments right now, "I will rest, but I will not quit," as the declaration of a tired soul that chooses renewal over resignation, that lays down the weight without laying down the hope, that trusts there is a reason to keep going, even when going is hard. I will rest, but I will not quit. My child, let me tell you about some of the lives I have worked through, because I want you to see that what I am saying to you tonight is not a comforting fantasy, but the consistent pattern of how I have always worked. There was a man I called to the single greatest assignment of his generation, the deliverance of an entire enslaved people, and I did not call him in the prime of his youth, when the world would have considered him most capable. I called him when he was old, when he had spent decades in obscurity tending sheep in a wilderness, when by every human measure his significant years were long behind him, and all that remained was the quiet fading of an unremarkable old age. He himself believed it was too late. He argued with me about it. He listed all the reasons he was the wrong choice: too old, too slow of speech, too far past the season when a man does great things. And I did the great thing through him anyway, in the season the world had already written off. because the decades of obscurity that looked like wasted time had actually been preparing him, shaping the humility and the depth and the dependence on me that the assignment required. His best part came after everyone, including himself, had concluded his story was essentially over. There was a woman who longed for one specific thing through her entire life, who waited and waited as the years passed and the window seemed to close and the possibility seemed to die, until she had grown old and the thing she longed for had become, by every natural measure, impossible. And in the very season when it was most impossible, when there was no longer any natural way for it to happen, I brought it to pass, and the joy that had been deferred for a lifetime finally arrived, sweeter for all the waiting, more miraculous for all the impossibility. Her best part came after the window the world recognized had completely closed. There was a man who, at an age when others were stepping back from the fight, stood up and asked for the hardest assignment, the mountain that no one else wanted, and received it and conquered it, because the strength I had built in him across all his years had not diminished but matured. His best part came in a season the world would have called his decline. Do you see the pattern, my child? Do you see that the way I work is precisely to bring forth the best in seasons that the world has already dismissed? I am drawn to the lives that everyone else has counted out. I specialize in the chapters that come after the world has stopped expecting anything. The very fact that you feel your best days are behind you, that your window has closed, that your significant years are past, does not disqualify you from what I want to do. It positions you perfectly for it, because the lives I do my most astonishing work in are exactly the ones that had concluded their astonishing days were over. You are not too late for your purpose, my child. You are right on time for the kind of purpose I love most to fulfill, the kind that comes when no one is expecting it anymore, the kind that makes everyone who had written the person off marvel at what I can do with a life that the world had already filed away as finished. Type in the comments right now, "My best is still coming," as the declaration of someone who has seen the pattern, who knows that I bring forth the greatest things in the seasons the world dismisses, who refuses to believe that their dismissed season disqualifies them. My best is still coming. And my child, I need to address something that I know is whispering in the back of your mind even as I speak these words of hope over you. Because I know you, and I know that part of why you have concluded the best is behind you is not only the time that has passed, but the things you have done, the failures you carry, the ways you believe you have disqualified yourself from any good future through your own mistakes. There is a voice in you saying that maybe other people get a best part still coming, but not you, because you have failed too many times, fallen too far, made too many wrong choices, become too much of a disappointment to deserve a glorious chapter ahead. I want to speak directly to that voice tonight, because it is one of the most effective lies the darkness uses to keep my children settling for less than I have for them. Here is the truth, my child. Your failures have not disqualified you. They have not used up your allotment of good. They have not moved you to a lesser track where only a smaller future remains. In my economy, which works by rules entirely different from the rules of the world, your failures are not the end of your usefulness, but often the very material from which I build your greatest purpose. The person who has failed and been restored carries something the person who never failed cannot carry: a depth of compassion, a freedom from pride, an understanding of grace that can only be learned from the inside of having needed it desperately. I do not look at your failures and see a disqualified candidate. I look at your failures and see the raw material of a testimony, the preparation for a purpose that will reach people that an unblemished life never could. Your worst moments, surrendered to me, become the foundation of your most meaningful work. Nothing is wasted, not even your failures, especially not your failures. So release the belief that you have disqualified yourself, my child. You have not. The best part that is coming is not reserved only for the people who never stumbled. It is for you, with all your failures, all your wrong choices, all the ways you believe you fell short of who you should have been. Those very things given to me become part of what makes your best part beautiful. I am not finished with you, and your failures have not finished you either. They are part of the story, yes, but they are not the end of it, and in the chapters ahead they will be revealed not as the things that disqualified you, but as the things that prepared you for a grace and a purpose you could never have known without them. Type in the comments right now, "My failures did not finish me," as the declaration of someone who refuses to let their mistakes write the ending of their story, who trusts that even their worst moments can become the foundation of their best chapter. My failures did not finish me, my child. I want you to notice something that you have probably been misreading, something happening inside you that you have likely interpreted as a problem when it is actually a sign. Have you noticed a restlessness in you lately, a quiet dissatisfaction, a sense that the life you are living is not the whole of what you are meant for, a feeling that will not quite let you settle fully into the resigned, smaller life that exhaustion has tempted you toward? Have you noticed that even as part of you has been concluding that the best is behind you, another part of you stubbornly refuses to fully believe it, keeps stirring, keeps aching for something more, keeps feeling that there is something unfinished, something waiting, something that has not yet happened? You may have interpreted that restlessness as a torment, as the cruel persistence of a hope that should have died by now, as a wound that will not close. But I want to tell you tonight what that restlessness actually is. It is my fingerprint on your soul. It is the evidence that I am not finished with you, planted in you by me, kept alive in you by me, precisely because the unfinished work is real and your soul knows it. A soul whose story was truly over would feel no restlessness, my child. It would settle. It would accept the smaller life without resistance, because there would be nothing in it still reaching for more. The very fact that you cannot fully settle, that something in you keeps stirring even against your own attempts to resign yourself, that the ache for more will not die no matter how many times you try to kill it with realism and lowered expectations, is the proof that the more is real. You cannot stop longing for the best part of your story, because the best part of your story is still coming, and your soul, which is connected to me more deeply than your conscious mind, knows it is coming and will not let you forget. The restlessness is not your enemy, it is your compass. It is pointing toward the unfinished thing, the unlived chapter, the best part that your soul refuses to stop expecting, because I planted the expectation there and have never removed it. So stop fighting the restlessness, my child. Stop trying to silence the part of you that refuses to settle. That part is not your immaturity or your inability to accept reality. That part is the truest part of you, the part that is still connected to my purpose for your life, the part that knows what your tired conscious mind has tried to forget, which is that you are made for more than this, and the more is still coming. Listen to the restlessness. Let it keep you from settling. Let it keep the hope alive in you, even when your weariness wants to let it die. It is one of the kindest gifts I have given you, this refusal of your soul to accept a finished story, because it is the thing that will keep you reaching until the best part finally arrives. And there are other signs too, my child, if you have eyes to see them. The way certain things have been stirring in you that you thought were long dead. The way old dreams have been quietly resurfacing, dreams you had buried, showing up again in unguarded moments. The way you find yourself, despite everything, still imagining a different future, still picturing something more, even as you tell yourself it will never come. These are not torments, these are previews. These are the first stirrings of the chapter that is beginning, the early signs that the season is turning, the evidence that what is unfinished in you is moving toward completion. Pay attention to them, my child. They are telling you the truth that your resignation has tried to hide. The story is not over, the best part is stirring, and you can feel it beginning, even now, in the restlessness you have been trying so hard to silence. As the declaration of someone who has stopped misreading the ache in their soul, who recognizes it now as the fingerprint of an unfinished purpose, who chooses to listen to it as a compass rather than fight it as a wound. The restlessness is a sign. And my child, before we move deeper into tonight, I want you to consider the most immediate piece of evidence of all, the proof that is right in front of you, the proof that is happening to you in this very moment. This message found you. Out of all the things you could have been doing tonight, out of all the content in the world you could have been looking at, this specific message, with this specific truth, reached you at this specific moment when you most needed to hear that I am not finished with you. Do you think that was an accident? Do you think it was random chance that brought these exact words in front of your eyes on the very night when the resignation had grown so heavy, when the belief that your best days were behind you had nearly completed its takeover of your heart? It was not random, my child. I arranged it. I guided you here. I reached through everything that stood between us to place this message in front of you tonight, because I could not let you go one more day believing the lie that I am done with you. And the very fact that I went to the trouble of reaching you, that I arranged for this message to find you at exactly this moment, is itself the proof of everything it says. I do not pursue people I am finished with. I do not arrange divine appointments for souls whose stories are over. I do not interrupt the resignation of someone whose best days are truly behind them with a message declaring that the best is still ahead. The fact that this message reached you tonight is the evidence that there is something still ahead worth reaching you about. If I were finished with you, my child, you would not be reading this. The reaching is the proof. The message itself is the sign. You are still being pursued, which means there is still a purpose. You are still being spoken to, which means there is still a story being written. I am not finished with you, and the clearest evidence is the simple, undeniable fact that here I am, tonight, refusing to let you believe that I am. So receive it, my child. Receive the truth that the very arrival of this message is announcing. You are still here. You are still being reached. You are still being pursued by the God who made you and who does not waste his pursuit on finished stories. The best part is still coming, and the proof that it is coming is that I came tonight to tell you so. Let that settle into you. Let it be the foundation that everything else tonight is built upon. I am not finished with you, and the fact that I am here, right now, speaking these words into your tired and resigned and aching heart, is all the proof you need. Type in the comments right now, "The message finding me is the proof." As the recognition that the very arrival of these words tonight is the evidence that I am not finished with you, that the pursuit itself announces the purpose that still remains. The message finding me is the proof. Stay with me, my child, into the next part of tonight, because we are only beginning, and I have so much more to show you. I am going to show you why your story has felt so stuck, what I have been doing in the seasons that seemed empty, and what the best part that is coming actually looks like. I am not finished with you, not even close. The best is still ahead. Stay with me, and let me show you. My child, I promised you that I would show you why your story has felt so stuck, and I want to keep that promise now, because the feeling of stuckness has been one of the deepest sources of your despair. The sense that no matter what you do, nothing moves, nothing changes, you remain in the same place, season after season, while life seems to carry everyone else forward. That feeling has been telling you that you are trapped, that this is simply how it will always be, that the stuckness is permanent and proves that nothing better is coming. But I want to show you tonight what the stuckness actually is, because you have been misreading it completely. And when you understand what it really means, it will become a source of hope instead of despair. The stuckness you have been feeling is not the stuckness of a story that has stopped. It is the stuckness of a story that is about to turn. Let me explain what I mean, because this is one of the most important things I will tell you tonight. There is a particular kind of stillness that comes right before a great change, a pause that feels like being trapped, but is actually being poised. Think of an arrow being drawn back on a bowstring. In the moment before it is released, the arrow is pulled backward, away from the target, held in a tension that feels like the opposite of progress. If the arrow could feel, it would feel stuck, held, pulled in the wrong direction, going nowhere. But that backward tension is not the end of the arrow's journey. It is the gathering of the force that will launch it forward, farther and faster than it could ever have gone without first being drawn back. The stuckness is not the failure of the launch, it is the preparation for it. The pulling back is what makes the flying forward possible. You have been drawn back, my child. The season of stuckness that has felt like being trapped, like going nowhere, like being held in a tension you cannot escape, has actually been the drawing back of the bow, the gathering of force, the building of tension that is about to launch you forward into the best part of your story. The stillness was never the end of your movement. It was the preparation for a movement greater than any you have experienced before. And the very intensity of the stuckness, the degree to which you have felt held and trapped and unable to move, is the measure of how far you are about to be launched. Because the further back the arrow is drawn, the further forward it flies. You have been drawn back so far, my child, held in the tension for so long, that the launch that is coming will carry you further than you ever imagined. The stuckness was not your story ending. It was your story winding up to spring. Type in the comments right now, "I am being drawn back to be launched," as the declaration of someone who has stopped reading their stuckness as a trap and started reading it as the tension before the launched, the drawing back of the bow before the arrow flies. I am being drawn back to be launched. My child, I want to tell you what I have been doing in the seasons that felt empty, because you have lived through long stretches of time where it seemed that nothing was happening, where you cried out and saw no answer. where you waited and nothing came, where the days passed in a monotonous sameness that convinced you I had stopped working in your life. I want to pull back the curtain on those seasons tonight and show you what was actually happening in them, because the truth is going to change everything about how you understand the time you thought was wasted. In the seasons that felt empty, I was working in the part of your life you could not see. I want you to understand that the most important work I do is almost never the work that is visible. The visible changes, the external rearrangements of circumstances, are the smallest part of what I do. The largest part, the most significant part, the part that determines everything, happens beneath the surface, in the depths of who you are, in the foundations that no eye can see, and in the seasons that felt empty to you, when the surface of your life showed no change, and you concluded that nothing was happening. I was doing the deepest and most important work of all, down in the foundations, building the person who would be able to carry the best part of your story when it finally arrived. Think about what it takes to build something great, my child. A great building requires a foundation, and the deeper and stronger the building is meant to be, the deeper and stronger the foundation must be, and the digging of a deep foundation produces nothing visible above the ground. Anyone walking past a construction site during the foundation phase would see only a hole, only digging, only the slow, unglamorous work of preparing the ground, and might conclude that nothing significant was being built. But the foundation phase is the most important phase of all, because everything that will eventually rise depends on it, and it produces nothing visible, nothing impressive, nothing that looks like progress to an observer who only understands progress as upward visible building. The empty seasons of your life, my child, were the foundation phase, the deep, invisible, unglamorous work of preparing the ground for something great. You looked at the surface and saw only a hole, only digging, only the absence of anything rising, and you concluded that nothing was being built. But the deepest foundation was being laid, the foundation for a structure greater than anything your life has yet held. And the depth of the foundation that was being dug in those empty seasons is the measure of the height of what is about to rise. What was I building in the foundation, my child? I was building your character, the depth of soul that the best part of your story will require. I was building your endurance, the capacity to hold what is coming without being broken by it. I was building your wisdom, the hard-won understanding that can only be developed through seasons of difficulty and waiting. I was building your dependence on me, the relationship that will sustain you when the best part comes and brings with it challenges that only deepened intimacy with me can carry you through. I was building the you that could receive the best part, because the best part given to an unprepared person becomes a burden or a destruction rather than a blessing. And I love you too much to give you the best part before you are ready to carry it. The empty seasons were not empty. They were the deepest work I have ever done in you. And that work is almost finished, which means the rising is almost ready to begin. Type in the comments right now, the empty seasons were the foundation, as the declaration of someone who finally understands that the time they thought was wasted was the deepest work of all, the foundation being laid for the best part that is about to rise. The empty seasons were the foundation. My child, I know that even as I describe the foundation I was building, a question is forming in you, a painful question, and I want to address it directly because it deserves an honest answer. The question is this: if you were doing all this work in me, why did it have to hurt so much? Why did the foundation phase have to involve so much pain, so much loss, so much that felt like suffering rather than building? Could you not have prepared me for the best part of my story without all the difficulty that the empty seasons contained? It is an honest question, my child, and I will give you an honest answer, because I do not want you to walk away tonight with a comfort that does not account for the real pain you have endured. The depth I was building in you could only be built through difficulty. This is one of the hardest truths about the way I work, and I will not soften it, because softening it would be a kind of lie. The character that the best part of your story requires, the endurance, the wisdom, the compassion, the depth of soul, these things cannot be manufactured in ease. They can only be forged in difficulty, the way certain metals can only be strengthened by fire, the way certain depths can only be reached by digging through hard ground. If I had spared you all the difficulty, I would also have spared you all the depth, and the shallow person that an easy life produces could not carry the best part of your story. The pain was not gratuitous, my child. It was not suffering for the sake of suffering. It was the necessary cost of the depth that your purpose requires, the digging through hard ground that the deep foundation demanded. I did not enjoy your pain. I grieved it with you. But I did not spare you from it, because sparing you from it would have meant sparing you from the depth, and the depth is what makes the best part of your story possible. And here is the thing I most want you to understand about the pain of the foundation phase, my child. None of it was wasted. Every difficult thing you endured in the empty seasons was building something specific in you, contributing something necessary to the foundation, adding to the depth that your purpose requires. The pain had a purpose. It was not random suffering inflicted by an indifferent universe. It was the precise, intentional, deeply loving work of a builder who knew exactly what depth the foundation needed and dug exactly that deep, no deeper than necessary, but no shallower either, because the structure that is about to rise requires every inch of the foundation that the pain of the empty seasons dug. When the best part of your story finally rises, my child, you will look back at the pain of the foundation phase and understand it differently, because you will see what it built. You will see the structure standing on the foundation that the pain dug, and you will understand that the suffering, while it was real and while it hurt, was not meaningless. It was the foundation of your best part, and the best part will be worth the depth that the pain dug to make it possible. Type in the comments right now, "The pain was not wasted," as the declaration of someone who is beginning to understand that the difficulty of the foundation phase was building something specific and necessary, that the suffering had a purpose, that nothing they endured will turn out to have been meaningless. The pain was not wasted. My child, let me speak now to the comparison that has been deepening your sense of being stuck, because I know that part of what has convinced you that your story is over is watching other people's stories seem to move forward while yours seemed frozen. You have watched others reach milestones, achieve dreams, enter seasons of visible flourishing, while you remained, it seemed, in the same place, waiting, stuck, going nowhere. And the comparison has been telling you a cruel story, that there is something wrong with you specifically, that everyone else is moving forward and only you are frozen, that you have been left behind while the world advances without you. I want to dismantle that comparison tonight, because it is built on a misunderstanding that has been multiplying your pain. You have been comparing your foundation phase to other people's visible building, my child, and that comparison is meaningless, because you cannot see what phase anyone else is actually in. When you look at another person whose life seems to be moving forward, you are seeing their surface, the visible part, the building that rises above the ground. You are not seeing whether their foundation is deep or shallow, whether what they are building will stand or will fall when the storms come, whether the visible progress you envy is built on something solid or on sand. And you are comparing that visible surface to your own foundation phase, the invisible deep work that produces nothing impressive above the ground, and concluding that they are ahead and you are behind. But you are not behind, my child. You are deeper. You are in a different phase, the phase that produces no visible progress, but lays the foundation for a structure that will outlast and outrise the quick visible buildings that were never founded as deeply as yours is being founded. The deepest foundations take the longest to dig, my child, and they produce the least visible progress during the digging, and they support the highest and most enduring structures. If your foundation phase has been longer than other people's, if your season of stuckness has lasted longer than theirs, it may not be because you are behind. It may be because what I am building in you requires a deeper foundation than what is being built in them. A foundation deep enough to support something higher and more enduring than the quick visible structures that rose while you were still digging. Do not compare your depth to their height, my child. Do not measure your foundation phase against their building phase. Your time is coming. The time when your own structure rises on the foundation that has been dug so deep for so long. And when it rises, it will rise higher and stand longer than the quick buildings you envied, because it is founded on a depth that they were never given. Release the comparison. Your story is not frozen. It is being founded deep for a rising that is worth the wait. Type in the comments right now, "I am not behind. I am deeper," as the declaration that releases the poison of comparison, that refuses to measure a foundation phase against a building phase, that trusts the depth being dug will support a rising worth waiting for. I am not behind, I am deeper. My child, let me give your heart a place to rest now, in the middle of all this, because I have been showing you difficult and important things, and your soul needs a moment simply to be held. So let me lower my voice and speak gently to you for a while. You have been so patient. Through all the seasons of stuckness, through all the empty stretches that felt like nothing was happening, through all the times you watched others move forward while you waited, you kept going. You did not abandon your life. You did not give up entirely, even when giving up tempted you. You kept showing up, kept enduring, kept waiting, even without understanding what you were waiting for or whether it would ever come. That patience, my child, that quiet endurance through seasons that gave you no visible reason to endure, is one of the most beautiful things I have watched in you. You may not have felt patient. You may have felt only stuck, only frustrated, only tired. But the fact that you kept going anyway, through all of it, was patience of the deepest kind. The patience that endures not because it can see the reward, but simply because it refuses to quit. And I have seen it, every season of it, and it has moved me more than you know. Let yourself rest in being seen, my child. You have felt invisible for so long, stuck in a foundation phase that no one could see, doing the deep invisible work of waiting and enduring, while it seemed that no one noticed and nothing came of it. But I noticed. I saw every day of it. I saw you keep going when going was hard. I saw you keep believing, even by the thinnest thread, when believing produced nothing visible. I saw the foundation being dug in you through all the pain you endured, and I saw you endure it, and I have treasured every moment of your faithful, patient, invisible endurance. You were never as invisible as you felt, my child. You were seen, the whole time, by the one whose seeing matters most. And tonight I want you to feel the rest of being seen, the deep relief of knowing that the invisible work of your endurance was witnessed and treasured by me through all of it. Rest there for a moment, my child. Rest in being seen. Rest in being known. Rest in the truth that your long foundation phase, however invisible it felt, was never invisible to me, and that the patience you showed through it has been one of the most beautiful things I have ever watched. You have done well. You have endured beautifully. And the foundation that your endurance helped to dig is about to support the best part of your story. Rest in that, my child. You have earned this rest, not by performing, but simply by enduring, by staying, by refusing to quit through a season that gave you every reason to. Rest now. You are seen. You are known. And the rising is coming. Type in the comments right now, "I was seen the whole time," as the declaration of a soul that has felt invisible in its long foundation phase and is finally receiving the truth that the invisible work of its endurance was witnessed and treasured all along. I was seen the whole time. My child, I want to address one more thing about the stuckness before we move on, because I know there is a specific fear underneath it that I have not yet spoken to directly. The fear is this, that the stuckness is your own fault. That if you were only better, smarter, more disciplined, more faithful, more something, you would not be stuck, and the fact that you are stuck means that you have failed somehow, that the frozen state of your story is a verdict on your inadequacy. This fear has been adding a layer of shame on top of the pain of the stuckness, making it not only painful but humiliating, a constant quiet accusation that the reason your story has not moved forward is that you are not good enough to move it. I want to lift that shame off you tonight, my child, because it is based on a misunderstanding of how the foundation phase works. The foundation phase is not produced by your inadequacy. It is produced by my design. You are not stuck because you failed to move your story forward. You are in the foundation phase because I am building something in you that requires a foundation phase, and the foundation phase by its nature produces no visible forward movement. The stillness is not the evidence of your failure. It is the evidence of my deep work. And blaming yourself for the stuckness is like a field blaming itself for the winter, like a foundation blaming itself for not yet being a building. The season is not your fault. It is the necessary phase of a deep work that I am doing, and it will give way to the rising in its appointed time, not because you finally become good enough to deserve the rising, but because the foundation finally becomes deep enough to support it. So release the shame, my child. You did not fail your way into the stuckness. You were led into a foundation phase by a builder who knows exactly what he is doing, who is digging exactly as deep as your purpose requires, who will bring the rising at exactly the right time. The stuckness was never a verdict on your worth. It was a phase in a process, a necessary part of building something great, and it says nothing about your adequacy and everything about the depth of what I am building. Let the shame go. It was never yours to carry. The foundation phase is not your failure. It is my faithfulness, doing the deep work that the best part of your story requires. Type in the comments right now, "The stuckness was not my failure." as the declaration that releases the shame, that refuses to read the foundation phase as a verdict on inadequacy, that trusts the stillness was the builder's design and not the proof of any failure. The stuckness was not my failure. And my child, there is a beautiful thing that happens to people who endure the foundation phase without quitting. A thing I want you to know about because it is already happening in you, even though you may not have recognized it. The people who endure the long, deep foundation phase, who keep going through the season of stuckness without abandoning their story, develop something that the people who only ever experienced quick, visible building never develop. They develop roots. They develop a stability, a groundedness, a depth of rootedness that cannot be shaken by the storms that topple the quick, shallow buildings. Because while the foundation was being dug, while you were enduring the stuckness, your roots were going down, deep, into a soil of character and faith and dependence on me that the quick risers never had to reach. And those deep roots mean that when your rising finally comes, when the best part of your story finally arrives, you will be able to hold it, to sustain it, to keep it through the storms that would have toppled a more shallowly rooted person. This is one of the great gifts hidden inside the long foundation phase, my child. It is not only preparing the foundation for what will rise, it is rooting you so deeply that what rises will last. The people whose stories moved forward quickly, whose buildings rose fast on shallow foundations, often cannot keep what they built because they were never rooted deeply enough to hold it through difficulty. But you, who have endured the long foundation phase, who have been rooted deep through all the seasons of stuckness, will be able to keep what comes to you, to hold it, to sustain it, to build a best part that lasts, rather than a quick flourishing that fades. The depth of your roots is the guarantee of the endurance of your rising, and those roots were grown in exactly the season you thought was wasting your life. The stuckness was growing your roots, and your roots will hold your future. Type in the comments right now, "My roots went deep," as the declaration of someone who understands that the long foundation phase was not only preparing what would rise, but rooting them deep enough to keep it, that the stuckness grew the roots that will hold their future. My roots went deep. My child, I want to tell you how to know that the foundation phase is almost complete, because there are signs, and I do not want you to miss them, the way you have missed so many of my signs before, by not knowing what to look for. The first sign that the foundation is nearly finished is that the stuckness begins to feel different. Not gone, not yet, but different. Where it once felt like a dead, permanent, hopeless frozenness, it begins to feel more like a held breath, a tension, an anticipation, as though something is about to happen, even though nothing has happened yet. If you have begun to feel, underneath the stuckness, a strange sense of imminence, a feeling that something is coming even though you cannot see it, that is a sign that the foundation phase is nearing its end and the rising is preparing to begin. The quality of the waiting changes before the waiting ends, and if the quality of your waiting has been changing, my child, if the stuckness has begun to feel less like a tomb and more like a held breath, that is the first sign that your season is about to turn. The second sign is the resurfacing of old dreams. In the foundation phase, dreams go dormant, buried under the weight of the waiting, hidden away because it hurt too much to keep them alive, with no sign of their fulfillment. But as the foundation nears completion, as the rising prepares to begin, those buried dreams begin to stir again, to resurface, to make themselves felt in unguarded moments. If you have noticed old dreams returning lately, old hopes you thought you had buried showing up again, old desires stirring that you thought were long dead, that is not a torment, my child. It is a sign. The dreams are resurfacing because their season is approaching, because the foundation that will support their fulfillment is nearly complete, because the part of your story they belong to is about to begin. The resurfacing of buried dreams is the second sign that your foundation phase is almost over. The third sign is the intensifying of the spiritual battle. As I told you in our time together before, the darkness fights hardest right before it loses, attacks most fiercely right before the breakthrough, pours its greatest effort into the final hour before the rising begins. If the difficulty has intensified lately, if the despair has grown heavier, if the temptation to give up has become stronger precisely now, after you have already endured so much, that is not evidence that the foundation phase will last forever. It is evidence that it is almost over, that the rising is so close, that the darkness is making its final desperate attempt to get you to quit before it begins. The intensifying of the battle is the third sign that your season is about to turn. And all three signs, my child, the changing quality of the waiting, the resurfacing of buried dreams, the intensifying of the battle, are signs that you may well be experiencing right now, in this very season, which would mean that your foundation phase is nearly complete, and the best part of your story is nearer than you have dared to believe. Type in the comments right now, "I see the signs of the turn," as the declaration of someone learning to recognize that their foundation phase is nearing its end, that the rising is preparing to begin, that the signs of the turn are appearing in their own life even now. I see the signs of the turn. And my child, while you wait for the rising to begin, while the foundation finishes its final deepening, I want to give you something to hold on to, a way to endure the last stretch of the foundation phase without giving up in the final hour. When the stuckness presses in and the despair tries to tell you the rising will never come, I want you to remember a single truth and return to it as your anchor. The foundation is not the building. Say it to yourself in the hard moments. The foundation is not the building. What you are experiencing now, the stuckness, the waiting, the absence of visible rising, is the foundation, and the foundation is not the building, which means the building is still coming, the rising is still ahead, the best part is still on its way. Do not mistake the foundation for the building, my child. Do not conclude from the foundation phase that there will be no building. The foundation is the proof that a building is coming, because no one digs a foundation for a structure they do not intend to raise. The very existence of your foundation phase is the guarantee of your rising. The foundation is not the building, but the foundation means the building is coming. Hold on to that, my child, through the last stretch of your waiting. Let it be the rock you stand on when the despair tries to sweep you away. The foundation is not the building, and the building is coming, and I am the builder, and I do not abandon foundations half dug. I finish what I start, I raise what I have founded. And the foundation I have been digging in you through all the long seasons of stuckness will not be left as an empty hole. It will be built upon. The rising will come. The best part will be raised on the foundation that the hard seasons dug. And you will stand in the finished structure of your best part and understand, finally, what all the digging was for. Hold on, my child. The foundation is almost finished, and the building is about to begin. Type in the comments right now, "The foundation means a building is coming." As the anchor you will hold on to through the last stretch of waiting, the truth that the very existence of your foundation phase guarantees the rising that is coming. The foundation means a building is coming. And my child, one last thing before we move on, because I do not want you to leave this part of the night without it. In all the long foundation phase, in all the seasons of stuckness, when you could not feel me, when the silence was so complete that you wondered whether I had left, I was there. I want you to hear that clearly. My silence in the foundation phase was never my absence. It was the quiet of the deep work, the stillness of a builder concentrating on the most important and most delicate part of the construction, the part that happens below the ground where no sound rises. You felt the silence and concluded I was far, but I was closer in the foundation phase than in any other, because the foundation is where I do my most intimate work, down in the depths of who you are, in the places that only I can reach. The silence was not distance, it was depth. I was not absent from your stuckness. I was working in the very center of it, closer to you than your own breath, laboring in the foundation of your soul with a tenderness and a focus that the silence concealed but never contradicted. So when you remember the foundation phase, my child, do not remember it as the season I abandoned you. Remember it as the season I was most deeply at work in you, even though you could not feel it, even though the silence convinced you otherwise. I was there. In every empty stretch, in every silent night, in every season of stuckness that felt like abandonment, I was there, in the depths, building the foundation of your best part with my own hands. You were never alone in the foundation phase. You were accompanied, intimately, by the builder himself, who never once left the work, who never once left you, and who is about to finish the foundation and begin the rising you have waited for so long. Type in the comments right now, "The silence was depth, not distance," as the declaration that reframes the long silent foundation phase, not as abandonment, but as the season of God's most intimate and most hidden work. The silence was depth, not distance. Stay with me, my child, into the next part of tonight, where I will show you what the best part that is coming actually looks like, and where I will help you prepare your heart to receive it. The foundation is almost finished. The rising is almost ready to begin. I am not finished with you, my child. The deepest work is nearly done, and the best part is nearly here. Stay with me, and let me show you what is coming. My child, I promised that I would show you what the best part that is coming actually looks like. And now we have arrived at that moment, and I want to do it carefully, because I know that vague promises of a better future have lost their power over your heart. You have heard, in the language of faith, that good things are coming, that better days are ahead, that God has a plan for your life. And those phrases, true as they are, have been repeated so often and so generally that they have stopped meaning anything to you, stopped reaching the place where you actually live. So tonight I am not going to give you the vague version. I am going to show you, as specifically as I can, what the best part of your story will actually contain, so that you have something real to hold on to, something concrete to hope toward, something definite enough that the hope can finally take root in you again. The best part of your story will not look like the fantasy you may have constructed in your moments of wishful thinking, my child, and I want to say that honestly, because the fantasy is usually a kind of escape, a daydream of a life with no difficulty and no challenge and nothing required of you, and that is not what I have for you. What I have for you is better than the fantasy, though it is not the fantasy. The best part of your story is not a life with no challenges. It is a life with the right challenges, the ones you were made for, the ones that call forth everything I placed in you, the ones that make you feel fully alive precisely because they are worthy of you. The fantasy is a life of ease, the best part is a life of meaning. And the life of meaning is far better than the life of ease, because the life of ease, if you ever actually got it, would bore you and shrink you and leave you feeling empty, while the life of meaning will fill you, stretch you, and make you feel, perhaps for the first time, that you are living the life you were actually created to live. Let me show you the first thing the best part will contain, my child. It will contain purpose. Real, specific, particular purpose. The kind that gets you out of bed in the morning, with a sense that what you do matters, that you are part of something larger than yourself, that your existence is making a difference that would not be made if you were not here. You have lived too long with the quiet ache of feeling that your life does not matter, that you could disappear and nothing would change, that you are simply going through the motions of an existence with no real significance. The best part of your story ends that ache. It brings you into the purpose I made you for, the specific work that only you can do, in the specific way that only you can do it. And the moment you step into it, the question that has haunted you, the question of whether your life matters, will be answered so completely that you will hardly remember what it felt like to doubt it. Purpose is coming, my child. The end of the ache of meaninglessness is coming. The best part will contain the thing you were made to do, and the doing of it will make you feel alive in a way you have almost forgotten is possible. Type in the comments right now, "Purpose is coming," as the declaration of someone who believes that the best part of their story will contain the specific, meaningful purpose they were made for. The end of the ache of feeling that their life does not matter. Purpose is coming. The second thing the best part will contain, my child, is connection. Real connection. The kind your heart has been starving for, the kind that you may have begun to believe you would never have. I know how lonely the foundation phase has been. I know that part of what has made you feel your best days are behind you is the loneliness, the sense that the deep connections you longed for either never came or came and were lost, that you are facing your life essentially alone, witnessed by no one who truly knows you. The best part of your story changes that. It brings people, the right people, the ones who are able to know you as you actually are and love what they know, the ones who can meet you at the depth you have grown to in the foundation phase, the ones who will not require you to shrink yourself to be acceptable to them. The loneliness of the foundation phase is not the permanent condition of your life, my child. It is the temporary condition of a season that is ending. The connection that is coming will reach depths you have never experienced, because you yourself have grown to depths you had not reached before, and the people who are coming have grown to those depths too. And the meeting of two souls who have both been deepened by their own foundation phases produces a quality of connection that the shallow, easy relationships of an earlier life could never achieve. Connection is coming, my child. The loneliness is ending. The best part will contain people who truly know you and truly love you, and the experience of that will heal wounds in you that you thought would never close. The third thing the best part will contain, my child, is restoration. The things that were lost in the hard seasons, the dreams that died, the hopes that were buried, the parts of yourself that you packed away because it was too painful to keep them alive. These are not gone forever. The best part of your story brings restoration, not always in the exact form you lost, but often in a deeper and truer form. A restoration that gives back what was taken and gives it back better, fuller, more aligned with who you have become. I am a God of restoration, my child. I do not simply move people forward from their losses, leaving the losses behind as permanent subtractions from their lives. I restore, I give back, I redeem the very things that were taken and weave them into a future that is richer for having reclaimed them. The losses of your foundation phase are not the final word on the things you lost. The best part of your story contains their restoration, their redemption, their return in a form that will astonish you with its goodness. Restoration is coming, my child. The losses are not permanent. The best part will give back what the hard seasons took and give it back better than before. Type in the comments right now, restoration is coming, as the declaration of someone who believes that the losses of their hard seasons are not the final word, that the best part of their story contains the return and the redemption of what was taken. Restoration is coming. The fourth thing the best part will contain, my child, is a peace you have not known, not the absence of all difficulty, because as I told you, the best part is not a life without challenge, but a deep, settled, unshakable peace that exists underneath the challenges, a peace that does not depend on everything going well, a peace that comes from knowing, all the way down, that you are held, that you are loved, that your life is in the hands of one who is working all things toward your good and who will not let you fall. You have lived too long in anxiety, my child, in the chronic low-level fear that has been your companion through the foundation phase, the constant bracing against the next difficult thing, the inability to rest because rest felt unsafe. The best part of your story brings the end of that anxiety. It brings a peace that has been forged in the foundation phase itself, because the very experience of being carried through the hard seasons, of discovering that you survived what you thought would destroy you, of learning by experience that I do not abandon you in the difficulty, produces a confidence in my faithfulness that becomes the ground of an unshakable peace. The peace that is coming was grown in the very seasons that felt most peaceless, because it is the peace that can only come from having been carried through the storm and discovering that the carrying held. Peace is coming, my child. The anxiety is ending. The best part will contain a rest that the foundation phase paradoxically made possible. And the fifth thing the best part will contain, my child, the thing that holds all the others together, is a deepened knowing of me. This is the deepest gift of all, the one that makes everything else meaningful, the one that is, in the end, the true best part of any story. Through everything you have walked through the foundation phase, and the stuckness, and the long seasons of waiting, you have been coming to know me in a way that you could not have known me through an easier life. And in the best part of your story, that knowing deepens further into an intimacy with me that becomes the foundation of your joy, the source of your peace, the wellspring of your purpose, the ground of your connection with others. Because in the end, my child, the best part of your story is not finally about the purpose, or the connection, or the restoration, or the peace, as wonderful as all of those are. It is about me. It is about you and me, the relationship between us, deepened and matured and made unbreakable through everything we have walked through together. That is the truest best part, the one beneath all the others, the one that will remain when everything else has passed away. And it is coming, my child, deeper than you have ever known it. The intimacy with me that is the deepest answer to the deepest longing of your heart. Type in the comments right now, the best part is knowing him, as the declaration of someone who understands that the deepest gift of the best part of their story is not any external blessing, but a deepened intimacy with the God who made them. The best part is knowing him. My child, I want to speak now to a fear that I know rises in you even as I describe these beautiful things. The fear that I am describing a future that belongs to other people but not to you. That these promises are for the more deserving, the more faithful, the ones who did not fail as much as you feel you have failed. I want to address this fear directly, because it has the power to keep you from receiving everything I have for you, by convincing you that it is not actually for you. The best part of your story is not a reward for the deserving, my child. It is a gift from a Father who loves you. If it were a reward for the deserving, then your fear would be justified, because none of us, not one, deserves the goodness I long to pour out. But it is not a reward, it is a gift. It flows not from your worthiness, but from my love, not from what you have earned, but from who I am, not from your performance, but from my unchanging desire to give good things to the children I love. And that means your failures, your inadequacies, all the ways you feel you have disqualified yourself, Do not disqualify you from the best part, because the best part was never qualified for in the first place. It was always a gift, and a gift is received, not earned. The only thing that can keep you from the best part of your story, my child, is refusing to believe it is for you, refusing to receive it, concluding that it must be for someone more deserving, and turning away from the gift that was always meant for you. Do not make that mistake. The best part is for you, not because you have earned it, but because I love you, and I have prepared it for you, and I am longing to give it to you, and the only thing required of you is to believe that it is yours, and to open your hands to receive it. So open your hands, my child. Stop holding them closed in the belief that you do not deserve what I want to give. Of course you do not deserve it. None of us deserve it. That is what makes it grace. That is what makes it a gift. Open your hands and receive the best part of your story, not as something you earned, but as something I am giving, freely, lavishly, out of a love that has never been based on your worthiness and never will be. The best part is for you, my child. It has your name on it. It was prepared for you before you were born, and it is coming, not because you finally became good enough, but because I am good, and I love you, and I am not finished giving good things to the child I delight in. Receive it. It is yours. Type in the comments right now, I receive what I did not earn, as the declaration of someone who stops trying to deserve the best part and simply opens their hands to receive it as the gift of grace it has always been. I receive what I did not earn. My child, I want to tell you how the best part of your story will actually arrive, because I do not want you to miss it by expecting it to come in a form different from the form it will take. People often miss the arrival of their best part because they are looking for it to come in one particular way, and when it comes in a different way, they do not recognize it. So let me prepare you to recognize it. The best part of your story will most likely not arrive all at once, in a single dramatic moment, with trumpets and an unmistakable announcement that this is it, the season has turned, everything is different now. That is how the best part arrives in stories and films, but it is rarely how it arrives in real lives. In real lives, the best part usually begins quietly, with small things, with a series of seemingly ordinary moments that only later reveal themselves to have been the beginning of everything. A conversation that seemed unremarkable at the time, but turned out to open a door. A small opportunity that did not look like much, but led to something larger. A new person who entered your life in an ordinary way and became, over time, central to everything. The best part begins in seeds, my child, not in full-grown trees. And if you are only watching for the full-grown tree, you will miss the planting of the seeds. So I want to teach you to watch for the seeds, my child. To pay attention to the small things, the ordinary moments, the seemingly minor developments, because any one of them might be the beginning of your best part. Do not despise the small beginnings. Do not dismiss the quiet openings because they are not dramatic enough to be what you were expecting. The best part of your story may already be beginning, in small ways, in seeds that have already been planted, and your job is not to wait passively for a dramatic arrival, but to pay attention to the quiet beginnings and to nurture them when they appear. When a small door opens, walk through it. When a quiet opportunity appears, take it. When a new person enters your life, be open to them, because the best part of your story is most likely to come disguised as something ordinary. And the people who receive their best part are usually the ones who recognized the ordinary-looking seed for what it was and nurtured it until it grew into everything it was meant to become. And here is something else about the arrival of the best part, my child. It often comes through a door you were not watching, while you were focused on a different door entirely. You may have been waiting for your breakthrough to come through one particular avenue, watching that one door, expecting the change to come from there. And meanwhile, I have been preparing an entirely different door, one you were not watching, one you had not even considered. And when the best part arrives, it may come through the door you least expected, in a way you did not anticipate, from a direction you were not watching. So do not narrow your expectation to one particular form, my child. Do not decide in advance how the best part must arrive, and then watch only for that. Stay open. Stay attentive to all the doors, even the ones you were not expecting, because the best part of your story loves to arrive through the unexpected door, to surprise you, to come from the direction you were not watching, so that when it comes you know beyond doubt that it was my doing, and not the simple fulfillment of your own plan. Type in the comments right now, I will watch for the seeds, as the declaration of someone who will not miss their best part by expecting only a dramatic arrival, who will pay attention to the small beginnings and stay open to the unexpected doors. I will watch for the seeds. My child, let me give your heart a moment of rest now, in the middle of all these promises, because I have been showing you the future, and your soul needs a moment simply to feel how loved you are in the present. So let me speak tenderly to you for a while. I want you to know that everything I have described tonight, all the beautiful things the best part of your story will contain, the purpose and the connection and the restoration and the peace and the deepened knowing of me, all of it flows from a single source, and that source is my love for you. I am not preparing a best part for your story because of anything you have done to earn it. I am preparing it because I love you, simply and completely and without condition, the way a parent loves a child, the way a parent delights in giving good things to the child they cherish. You have been loved this entire time, my child, through every season of the foundation phase, through every stretch of stuckness, through every moment you felt forgotten and overlooked and finished. You were loved through all of it, and you are loved now, and you will be loved in the best part of your story, with a love that has never wavered and never will. I want you to rest in that love right now, my child. Apart from all the promises about the future, apart from all the things that are coming, just rest in being loved in this present moment, exactly as you are, with all your weariness and all your doubt and all your fear that the best is behind you. You do not have to wait for the best part of your story to be loved. You are loved now, tonight, in the foundation phase, in the stuckness, in the very season you thought proved you were forgotten. You are loved, my child, right now, completely, and that love is the truest thing about your life, truer than your circumstances, truer than your feelings, truer than the despair that has been telling you your story is over. You are loved. Let that be enough for this moment. Let it hold you. Let it be the rest your tired soul has been needing, the simple, profound, healing rest of knowing that you are loved by the one who made you, right now, exactly as you are. And from within that love, my child, hear this promise once more, not as a demand that you believe it, or a pressure to feel a certain way, but simply as a gift, freely given, for you to receive or to hold lightly until you are ready to receive it fully. I am not finished with you. The best part of your story is still coming, and the love that is preparing it for you is the same love that holds you right now, in this moment, in the quiet, in the rest. You are loved, and you are not finished, and the best is yet to come. Rest in all three of those truths tonight, my child. Let them hold you, and let the rest they bring restore your tired and hoping heart. Type in the comments right now, "I am loved right now," as the declaration of a soul that receives, even before the best part arrives, the truth that it is loved in this present moment, exactly as it is, by the God who made it. I am loved right now. My child, I want to address a particular fear that may have risen in you as I described how the best part arrives quietly, in seeds, through unexpected doors. The fear is this: what if it already came and I missed it? What if the best part of my story already passed by while I was not paying attention, and I failed to recognize it, and now it is gone forever? This is a real fear, and it deserves a real answer, because the very thing I said about the best part arriving quietly could become, in an anxious heart, a new source of torment, the worry that you have already failed to recognize and receive what was meant for you. So let me put that fear to rest, my child. You have not missed it. The best part of your story is not a single fragile moment that once passed is gone forever. It is not a train that leaves the station once and never returns if you were not on the platform at exactly the right second. The best part of your story is held in the hands of a God who is infinitely patient and endlessly resourceful, who does not give up on his purposes for you simply because you did not recognize an opportunity, who will bring the seed again and again and again in different forms and through different doors until you finally recognize it and receive it. I am not a God of one chance, my child. I am a God of endless chances, of repeated opportunities, of purposes that I pursue with a patience that does not exhaust itself after a single missed moment. If you have missed seeds in the past, and you have, we all do, that does not mean the best part is gone. It means I will plant the seed again, and I will keep planting it, in form after form, through door after door, until the season is right and your eyes are open and you finally receive what I have been so patiently and persistently trying to give you. So release the fear that you have already missed your best part, my child. You have not missed it. It is still ahead of you, still coming, still being offered, by a God who does not give up after one attempt, but pursues his purposes for you with infinite patience. The very fact that you are still longing for it, still aching for the more, still feeling the restlessness that I told you is the fingerprint of an unfinished purpose, is the proof that you have not missed it, because if you had missed it, and it were truly gone, the longing would have died with it. The longing is still alive, which means the purpose is still alive, which means the best part is still coming. You have not missed it, my child. You cannot miss what I am this determined to give you. Rest in that. The best part is still ahead, and I am patient enough to bring it to you no matter how many seeds were missed before. Type in the comments right now, I have not missed it, as the declaration of someone who releases the fear that their best part already passed them by, who trusts in a God patient enough to offer it again and again until it is finally received. I have not missed it. And my child, I want to speak specifically to the dreams you gave up on, the particular ones, the ones you buried so deep that you would feel foolish even mentioning them now, the ones that you decided long ago were simply not going to happen, and that you trained yourself to stop wanting because wanting them hurt too much. I want to speak to those specific dreams tonight, because I know they are still there, underneath everything, and I know that part of you has been afraid to let me talk about the best part of your story, precisely because you were afraid I would not include those particular dreams, that the best part I was describing would be a different best part than the one your heart actually longs for, a consolation prize rather than the true desire of your heart. Let me speak directly to that fear, my child. The dreams you buried are not forgotten by me. The specific longings of your heart, the particular things you have wanted most deeply and given up on most completely, are not unknown to me or excluded from my plans for your best part. I know exactly what you buried. I was there when you buried it. I watched you decide it would never happen and train yourself to stop wanting it, and I grieved with you in that burial, and I have kept the buried dream safe all this time in a place where it has not decayed, waiting for the season of its possible resurrection. I am not telling you tonight that every buried dream will be resurrected exactly as you first dreamed it, because I love you too much to make a promise I will not keep, and some of what you buried was buried for good reasons, and some of it I have something better than. But I am telling you that the buried dreams are not automatically excluded from your best part, that I have not forgotten them, that the deepest longings of your heart are known to me and held by me and woven into my plans for you in ways you cannot yet see. Some of what you buried, my child, I intend to resurrect. And the resurrection of a dream you had given up on entirely is one of the most overwhelming joys a person can experience. The return of a hope you had buried, the fulfillment of a longing you had abandoned, the resurrection of something you were certain was dead forever. So do not be afraid to let me describe the best part of your story, my child, out of fear that it will not include the dreams your heart actually longs for. Bring me the buried dreams, unbury them, just enough to show them to me, just enough to let me speak to them. The best part of your story is not a generic best part, the same for everyone, disconnected from the specific longings of your particular heart. It is your best part, shaped around your specific design, connected to the actual dreams I planted in you, including some of the very ones you buried. Trust me with the buried dreams, my child. Some of them are about to be resurrected in the best part of your story that is coming, and the joy of their resurrection will be greater for all the years you spent believing they were dead. Type in the comments right now, my buried dreams are not forgotten, as the declaration of someone who trusts that the specific longings they gave up on are known to God and held by God, and that some of them are about to be resurrected in the best part of their story. My buried dreams are not forgotten. My child, if you are still here with me, still listening, still letting these words reach the deep places of your heart, I want you to know how much it moves me that you have stayed. Many would have given up on this message by now, would have let the cynicism win, would have decided it was too good to be true and turned away. But you have stayed. You have let me speak to you. You have let the hope back in, even just a little, even against the resistance of all your disappointment. And that staying, that willingness to keep listening, to keep your heart open one more time, is itself a sign of the very thing I have been telling you. A finished soul does not stay. A soul whose story was truly over would have turned away from a message about a best part still coming, because it would have no capacity left to receive it. The fact that you are still here, still open, still letting the hope reach you, is the evidence that you are not finished, that there is still something alive in you reaching toward the more, that the best part is still possible because the part of you that can receive it is still alive. If you are still here, type in the comments, "I am still here," as a sign of the openness that is itself the proof that your story is not over. And let me say this to you, my child, in the quiet of your staying. The best part of your story will require you to be the kind of person who stays, who keeps their heart open, who refuses to let disappointment close them off entirely. And the very fact that you have stayed through this message, that you have kept listening, that you have let the hope back in, is the evidence that you are that kind of person, that you have the openness the best part requires, that you are ready, in the deepest way, to receive what is coming. The staying is the preparation, the openness is the readiness, and you have shown both tonight. You are more ready than you know, my child, and the proof is that you are still here. Stay with me, my child, into the next part of tonight, where I will help you prepare your heart to actually receive the best part when it comes. Because there is a way to wait that opens you to receive, and a way to wait that closes you off. And I want to make sure you are waiting in the way that opens you. The best part is coming, my child. I am not finished with you, and I want you ready to receive everything I have prepared. Stay with me, and let me prepare your heart. My child, we have come to one of the most important parts of tonight, because I told you that there is a way to wait that opens you to receive the best part, and a way to wait that closes you off from it, and I want to make absolutely sure that you are waiting in the way that opens you. Because here is something that breaks my heart to watch, and I have watched it happen many times. I have prepared a best part for one of my children, set it in motion, brought it all the way to the threshold of their life, and then watched them fail to receive it, not because it did not come, but because they were waiting in a way that had closed their hands and hardened their heart, so that when the gift arrived they could not take hold of it. I do not want that to happen to you, my child. I have prepared too much for you to watch you miss it, because you were waiting wrong. So tonight I am going to teach you how to wait in the way that opens you, how to hold your heart in the posture that can actually receive what I am bringing. The first thing you must understand, my child, is that bitterness closes the hands. When a person waits through a long season of disappointment, there is a constant temptation to let the disappointment curdle into bitterness, to move from sadness about what has not come, to resentment about what has not come, to begin to hold a grievance against life, against circumstances, against other people who seem to have received what you have not, and even in the secret places of the heart, against me. And bitterness, my child, however understandable, however justified it may feel, closes the hands that need to be opened to receive. A bitter heart cannot receive a gift because bitterness is a clenching, a hardening, a turning inward and against, and the posture of receiving is the opposite, an opening, a softening, a turning outward and toward. If you arrive at the threshold of your best part with a heart that is hardened into bitterness through the long waiting, you will not be able to receive what is there, because your hands will be clenched into fists of grievance rather than open in readiness to receive. So the first work of waiting in the way that opens you, my child, is to refuse bitterness, to keep returning to softness even when hardness tempts you, to grieve your disappointments without letting them curdle into resentment. I know this is hard, my child. I know that bitterness can feel like the only honest response to a long season of unfulfilled hope. That softness can feel like naivety, like setting yourself up to be hurt again, like refusing to acknowledge the real injustice of what you have endured. But softness is not naivety, and refusing bitterness is not pretending the pain was not real. It is choosing not to let the pain become poison. It is grieving honestly while refusing to let the grief harden into a permanent clench. And it is, above all, the thing that keeps your hands open for the best part that is coming. Do not let the long waiting turn you bitter, my child. Guard your softness, protect the openness of your heart, because the best part is coming, and it can only be received by hands that are open, and bitterness is the thing most likely to close them. Type in the comments right now, "I refuse bitterness," as the declaration of someone who chooses to keep their heart soft through the long waiting, who grieves their disappointments without letting them harden into resentment, who guards the openness that the best part requires. I refuse bitterness. The second thing you must understand about waiting in the way that opens you, my child, is that you must keep expecting. I know this sounds dangerous to you, because expecting is exactly what has hurt you before. You expected, and the thing did not come, and the disappointment of that taught you that the safest posture is to stop expecting, to lower your hopes to nothing, to protect yourself from future disappointment by refusing to anticipate anything good. And I understand why you learnt that lesson. But I have to tell you tonight that the lesson, however protective, is also the very thing that can close you off from your best part. Because expectation is the posture of receiving. The person who expects nothing is not watching, not ready, not positioned to take hold of what arrives. And so when the best part comes, the one who stopped expecting may not even notice it, may let it pass by unrecognized, may fail to take hold of it because they had trained themselves to anticipate nothing. I am not asking you to expect in the anxious, grasping way that demands a particular outcome by a particular time, my child. That kind of expectation is its own kind of closure, because it can only receive one specific thing and is blind to everything else. I am asking you to expect in the open, trusting way that knows something good is coming without demanding to control its form or its timing, that stays watchful and ready and anticipatory without clenching around a particular demand. It is the difference between the anxious expectation that says it must come this way, by this time, or I cannot bear it, and the trusting expectation that says something good is coming and I am watching for it with open hands, ready to receive it in whatever form it takes. The first kind of expectation closes you off to everything but one narrow possibility. The second kind opens you to receive whatever I bring. Keep expecting, my child, in the second way. Stay watchful, stay anticipatory. Hold the quiet, open, trusting expectation that the best part is coming, so that when it arrives, you are positioned and ready to receive it. Type in the comments right now, I will keep expecting, as the declaration of someone who refuses to let past disappointment kill their expectation entirely, who holds the open, trusting anticipation that keeps them ready to receive the best part, whenever and however it comes. I will keep expecting. The third thing you must understand about waiting in the way that opens you, my child, is that you must keep living. I know that the long waiting can produce a kind of suspension, a sense that real life is on hold until the best part arrives, that you are simply enduring the present, just getting through the days, waiting for the real living to begin when the breakthrough finally comes. And I understand that feeling, but I want to gently correct it tonight, because it is another way that waiting can close you off from the very thing you are waiting for. The best part of your story does not arrive into a suspended life that has been on hold. It arrives into a life that is being lived, that is engaged, that is present and active and open. And the people who put their whole lives on hold while waiting for their breakthrough often find that they have closed themselves off from the very avenues through which the breakthrough would have come, because they stopped engaging with life, stopped showing up, stopped participating in the ordinary flow of days through which I so often deliver the extraordinary. So keep living, my child, even while you wait. Keep showing up to your days. Keep engaging with the people around you. Keep doing the small things, the ordinary things, the things that may not feel significant, but that keep you present and active and open to the seeds I am planting. Because, as I told you, the best part often arrives quietly, through ordinary moments, through small doors, and the person who has checked out of their ordinary life while waiting for a dramatic breakthrough may miss the ordinary moment through which the breakthrough actually comes. Do not put your life on hold, my child. Do not suspend your living until the best part arrives. Live now, fully, even in the waiting, because the best part is most likely to come through the very ordinary living you might be tempted to suspend. The waiting is not a pause in your life. It is part of your life, and it is to be lived, fully, as the doorway through which the best part will most likely arrive. Type in the comments right now, I will keep living, as the declaration of someone who refuses to put their life on hold while waiting, who stays present and engaged and active, because the best part is most likely to arrive through the very ordinary living they are tempted to suspend. I will keep living. My child, I want to address something tender now, because as I teach you how to wait in the way that opens you, I do not want you to hear it as a burden, as one more thing you must do correctly, or risk losing your best part. I know how your heart works, and I know that you can take even an instruction meant to help you and turn it into a source of anxiety, a new way to fear that you are doing it wrong, a new pressure to perform your waiting perfectly or forfeit the gift. So let me lift that pressure off you right now. The instructions I am giving you about how to wait are not conditions you must meet to earn the best part. They are simply the open posture that allows you to receive what is already yours. And even if you wait imperfectly, even if bitterness sometimes wins and expectation sometimes dies, and you sometimes put your life on hold, that will not cause you to forfeit your best part, because your best part was never dependent on your perfect waiting. It is a gift, and I am patient, and I will keep bringing it, and even your imperfect waiting will not exhaust my determination to give it to you. So receive these instructions gently, my child, not as a test you might fail, but as a kindness, a help, a way of opening yourself more fully to the joy I want to give you. Refuse bitterness, not because bitterness will disqualify you, but because bitterness will rob you of joy you could be experiencing even now. Keep expecting, not because failed expectation will forfeit the gift, but because expectation keeps your heart alive and watchful. Keep living, not because a suspended life will cancel the best part, but because a lived life is richer and more open and more joyful than a suspended one. These are gifts I am giving you, my child, not burdens I am laying on you. They are the keys to waiting in a way that is itself more joyful, more peaceful, more alive, regardless of when the best part arrives. Receive them as the kindnesses they are, and do not add to your burdens the fear that you must wait perfectly. You do not. You must only keep your heart as open as you can, and trust me to be patient with you in all the ways your waiting falls short. Type in the comments right now, "I will wait without fear," as the declaration of someone who receives the instructions for waiting not as a test they might fail, but as a kindness that helps them, who trusts that even imperfect waiting will not forfeit the best part. I will wait without fear. And my child, let me give your heart rest now, in the middle of all this teaching, because I have been instructing you and your soul needs simply to be held. So let me speak gently once more. You have been waiting so long, and you have been waiting, on the whole, so well, far better than you give yourself credit for. You have kept going through seasons that would have stopped others. You have kept some measure of hope alive, even when hope was hard. You have not in the end fully given up, because here you are, still listening, still open, still letting me speak to you about a best part that is coming, that is good waiting, my child, that is faithful waiting. It has not been perfect, but it has been faithful, and faithful is what I asked for, not perfect. And I am proud of how you have waited, through all the long seasons, with all the disappointment, with so little visible reason to keep waiting at all. Rest now in the knowledge that your waiting has not been in vain, and that it is almost over. The long season of waiting is drawing toward its end. The foundation is almost complete. The best part is almost here. And the waiting you have done, the faithful, imperfect, enduring waiting that has carried you through all the empty seasons, is about to be rewarded with the arrival of everything you have been waiting for. You are so close, my child. The waiting is almost done. And what is coming is worth every moment of it. Rest in that tonight. Rest in the nearness of the end of your waiting. Rest in the knowledge that you have waited faithfully and that the reward of your faithful waiting is almost here. You have done well, my child. The waiting is almost over, and the best part is almost here. Type in the comments right now, "My waiting is almost over," as the declaration of a soul that has waited faithfully through the long seasons and is receiving the truth that the waiting is nearly done and the best part is nearly here. My waiting is almost over. My child, there is a fourth thing I want to teach you about waiting in the way that opens you, and it is perhaps the most powerful of all, because it has the ability to transform the very experience of waiting from torment into something almost beautiful. That fourth thing is gratitude. I know how strange that may sound in the middle of a long, painful waiting. Gratitude for what, you might ask, when the thing I most want has not come, when the best part is still ahead, when the present is still so full of the ache of unfulfilled longing. But here is the secret that the people who wait well have discovered, my child. Gratitude is not the denial of the ache. It is the practice of holding the ache and the goodness at the same time, of acknowledging what has not come while also acknowledging what has, of refusing to let the absence of the best part blind you to all the good that is present even now. And this practice does something remarkable. It keeps your heart open and soft and alive in the very season that would otherwise close and harden it. Because gratitude is itself a posture of openness, a turning toward the good, a receiving of what is already given, and the heart that practices gratitude in the waiting stays in the receiving posture, ready for the best part, rather than collapsing into the bitter, closed posture that only sees what is missing. So practice gratitude in your waiting, my child, not as a denial of your real pain, but as a way of keeping your heart open alongside the pain. Look for the good that is present even now, even in the foundation phase, even in the stuckness, the small mercies, the quiet gifts. The people who do love you, even imperfectly, the breath in your lungs, the fact that you are still here, still standing, still capable of hoping. Give thanks for these, not because they are a substitute for the best part, but because giving thanks for them keeps your heart in the open, receiving posture that the best part requires. The grateful heart is the open heart, and the open heart is the heart that can receive what is coming. Gratitude is not only a response to blessing, my child. It is a preparation for blessing, a keeping of the heart in the posture that can receive. Practice it in the waiting, and you will find that the waiting itself becomes less of a torment, and that your heart stays open and ready for the best part that is coming. And there is a related practice, my child, that I want to mention alongside gratitude, because it too keeps the heart open, and that is forgiveness. The long waiting often accumulates grievances against the people who hurt you, against the ones who received what you did not, against those who did not help when they could have. And these grievances, like bitterness, close the hands. Forgiveness opens them again. Forgiveness is the release of the grievance, the letting go of the debt, the unclenching of the fist that has been holding tight to the wrong that was done. And forgiveness, like gratitude, keeps your heart in the open posture that can receive the best part. I am not asking you to pretend the wrongs were not real, my child, any more than gratitude asks you to pretend the ache is not real. I am inviting you to release the wrongs, to hand them to me, to let go of the grievances that have been closing your hands, so that your hands can be open to receive what is coming. Forgive, my child, as part of waiting in the way that opens you. Release the grievances, hand them to me, and let your hands be open, free of the clench of unforgiveness, ready to receive the best part. Type in the comments right now, I choose gratitude and release, as the declaration of someone who keeps their heart open through the waiting, by practicing gratitude for what is present and forgiveness for what was done, holding the open posture that can receive the best part. I choose gratitude and release. My child, I want to give you something to actually do while you wait, because waiting in the way that opens you is not only about your inner posture, but also about how you use the time, and I do not want you to simply wait passively when there are things you can do to prepare for the best part that is coming. So let me give you some ways to prepare actively for what I am bringing. The first way to prepare is to tend to what you already have. The best part that is coming will be built, in part, on the foundation of your present life. And so the way you tend to your present life is itself a preparation for the best part. Tend to the relationships you have. Tend to the responsibilities in front of you. Tend to your own health and your own soul and your own ordinary daily faithfulness. Because the person who tends faithfully to the small things they already have is the person who is being prepared to receive the larger things that are coming. While the person who neglects what they have, despising it because it is not yet the best part, is closing themselves off from the growth that tending produces. Be faithful in the small things, my child, in the present things, in the ordinary things, because faithfulness in the present is the preparation for the best part of the future. The second way to prepare is to grow in the areas the best part will require. You may already sense, in the restlessness I told you about, the direction of what is coming, the kind of thing your best part will involve. And if you do, you can begin to prepare for it now, by growing in the areas it will require, by developing the capacities it will draw upon, by becoming, in advance, more of the person your best part will need you to be. Do not wait passively for the best part to arrive, and only then begin to develop what it requires. Begin now, grow now, prepare now, become now, in small ways, more of who you will need to be, so that when the best part arrives, you are ready to step into it fully, rather than scrambling to develop what you could have been developing all along. The waiting is preparation time, my child. Use it, grow during it. Become, during the waiting, more of who the best part will require. And the third way to prepare, the most important, is to deepen your relationship with me, because as I told you, the truest best part of any story is the deepened knowing of me that holds all the other gifts together. And you can deepen that knowing now, in the waiting, through the very practices the waiting makes possible, the practices of trust and surrender and honest prayer, and the discovery, in the difficulty, that I am faithful. The waiting is, in a sense, the most fertile possible soil for the deepening of your relationship with me, because it is in exactly these conditions, the conditions of unfulfilled longing and required trust, that intimacy with me grows deepest. Do not waste the waiting, my child. Use it to know me more, and you will find that the deepened knowing of me that the waiting produces is not only a preparation for the best part, but is itself already a part of the best part, beginning even now, in the very season you have wanted so badly to escape. Type in the comments right now, I will prepare while I wait, as the declaration of someone who uses the time of waiting actively, tending to what they have, growing in what the best part requires, and deepening their relationship with God. I will prepare while I wait. My child, I want to prepare you for something, because I love you too much to send you back into your ordinary life without warning you about what is coming. Tomorrow, or the next day, the doubt will return. The truth that feels so real to you right now, in this moment, in the quiet, with my voice reaching the deep places of your heart, will begin to fade as the ordinary demands of ordinary life reassert themselves and the old despair tries to reclaim its place. You will wake up, and the circumstance will still look the same, and the feeling that the best is behind you will try to creep back in, and the certainty you feel right now will begin to seem like just a feeling you had one night, a temporary comfort that the daylight has dissolved. I am telling you this in advance, so that you are not surprised by it, so that when the doubt returns, you do not take its return as evidence that tonight was not real. The doubt returning does not mean tonight was false. It means the doubt is persistent, and the truth must be held onto deliberately, defended actively, returned to again and again against the pull of the old despair. So let me give you a way to hold on to the truth when the doubt returns, my child. When you feel the old belief creeping back, the belief that your best days are behind you, that your story is over, that I am finished with you, I want you to return to a single anchoring truth and plant your feet on it. He is not finished with me. Say it against the doubt. He is not finished with me. You do not have to feel it for it to be true. You do not have to have evidence for it in your circumstances. You only have to remember it, to return to it, to declare it against the despair that tries to sweep it away. He is not finished with me. Let that be the rock you stand on when the doubt returns, the truth you defend against the old lie, the anchor that holds you to what I have shown you tonight, even when the feeling of it has faded. The feeling will fade, my child. Feelings always do, but the truth does not depend on the feeling. The truth remains true when the feeling is gone, and you can hold on to the truth by returning to it, by declaring it, by refusing to let the doubt have the final word, long after the feeling of tonight has faded into memory. And here is something that will help you hold on, my child. Write it down. Take the truth you have received tonight and put it somewhere you will see it, in words you can return to when the doubt returns and your memory of tonight has grown dim. Write down the words, God is not finished with me. The best part of my story has not yet happened. Write them where you will find them, on the days when you cannot remember why you believed them, so that your past self, the self who heard me clearly tonight, can speak to your future self, the self who has forgotten, and remind them of what is true. This is one of the ways my children hold on to the truth across the fading of feeling, by capturing it in words while it is clear and returning to those words when it has grown dim. Do not trust your memory alone to hold on to tonight, my child. Capture it, write it down, and let the written truth defend you against the doubt on the days when your memory cannot. Type in the comments right now, I will hold on to this truth, as the declaration of someone who knows the doubt will return and prepares to defend the truth against it, returning to it, declaring it, capturing it in words that will hold them when the feeling has faded. I will hold on to this truth. My child, there is one more thing I want to say to you before we move into the rest of the final part of tonight, and it is about the strength you will need for the best part of your story, because I do not want you to imagine that the best part will be effortless, that it will simply happen to you while you remain passive. The best part of your story will ask something of you. It will require courage, the courage to step through the doors that open, to take the opportunities that appear, to risk yourself again after all the times you have been hurt. And I want to assure you tonight that you will have the strength when the time comes. You do not need to have it now. You do not need to feel strong tonight, or brave, or ready. The strength for the best part will be given to you when the best part requires it, not before, because I do not give the strength for tomorrow's task today. I give it in the moment it is needed. So do not be afraid that you are too weak, too tired, too worn down to live the best part of your story when it comes. The strength will come with the moment. The courage will be given when the door opens. You will find, when the time arrives, that you are able to do what the best part requires, not because you summoned the strength in advance, but because I supplied it in the moment, as I have always supplied what my children needed exactly when they needed it. So release the fear that you will not be strong enough for what is coming, my child. You will be, not by your own strength, which is worn thin, but by the strength I will supply in the moment of need. The same God who is bringing the best part of your story will supply the strength to live it. The same love that prepared what is coming will provide what is required to receive it. You do not have to be ready in your own strength. You only have to trust that the strength will be there when you need it, supplied by me, sufficient for whatever the best part asks of you. Rest in that, my child. You will be strong enough when the time comes, because I will make you strong enough. The strength is not your responsibility to manufacture. It is my promise to provide. Type in the comments right now, the strength will be there, as the declaration of someone who releases the fear that they are too weak for what is coming, trusting that God will supply the strength for the best part in the very moment it is required. The strength will be there. And my child, one final encouragement before the rest. I want you to know that you are not waiting for the best part of your story alone. There are others, right now, in this very moment, who are also waiting, also holding on, also believing against the despair that their best part is still coming. Some of them are reading these very words alongside you tonight, carrying their own version of the long foundation phase, their own stuckness, their own buried dreams, their own fear that the best is behind them. You are part of a great company of the waiting, a fellowship of people who refuse to give up on the best part of their stories, and there is strength in knowing you are not alone in it. When you feel most alone in your waiting, remember that all around you, unseen, are others who are waiting too, holding on to, believing to, and that you are part of something larger than your own solitary struggle. The fellowship of the waiting is real, my child, and you belong to it, and there is comfort and strength in belonging to it. And one day, my child, when your best part has come, you will be able to turn to those who are still waiting and tell them, from the far side of your own breakthrough, that the waiting was worth it, that the best part was real, that the God who was not finished with you was not finished with them either. Your testimony, when the best part comes, will become a gift to all the others who are still in the foundation phase, still holding on, still believing against the despair. The very waiting you are enduring now will become, when the best part arrives, the credential by which you can encourage others, the proof you can offer that holding on is worth it, the hope you can extend to those who are where you are now. Nothing of your waiting will be wasted, my child. Even it will become a gift to others when the best part has come and you can testify to its goodness from the far side of your own long wait. Type in the comments right now, I am not waiting alone, as the declaration of someone who knows they belong to the great fellowship of the waiting, who draws strength from knowing that others are holding on to, and who will one day testify to the goodness of the best part for the sake of those still waiting. I am not waiting alone. Stay with me, my child, into the final part of tonight, where I will give your tired soul the deep rest it has been longing for, and where I will speak over you the blessings that will carry you all the way to the best part that is coming. The waiting is almost over, the best part is almost here, and I am not finished with you, my child, not even close. Stay with me, and let me give you rest. My child, we have come to the final part of our night together, and I want you to let everything else fall away now. All the thinking, all the striving, all the effort of trying to understand and believe and hold on. You have done enough tonight. You have listened, you have stayed, you have let the truth reach the deep places of your heart, and now there is nothing left for you to do but rest. So let yourself settle now, wherever you are, into the most comfortable position you can find. If you are lying down, let your whole body sink into the surface beneath you, supported completely, held entirely, free to release every bit of the weight it has been carrying. If you are sitting, let your shoulders drop, let your hands rest open, let the tension drain from your body. The work of tonight is done. All that remains is rest, and I am going to hold you through it. Let your breathing slow now, my child. Do not force it. Just let each breath come a little more gently than the one before, a little deeper, a little slower, until your breathing finds the quiet, easy rhythm of a soul at rest. And as you breathe, let me speak peace over your tired body and your weary heart. You have carried so much for so long. The weight of disappointment, the ache of the long waiting, the heavy belief that your best days were behind you. Tonight you can set all of it down, because I have shown you the truth. And the truth is that the best is not behind you but ahead of you, that your story is not over but barely beginning its most important chapter, that I am not finished with you but only now arriving at the part I have been preparing all along. Set the weight down, my child. You do not have to carry it through the night. Let me carry it. Let me hold it. Let me hold you. With each breath out now, let something leave you. Let the despair leave. Let the belief that your best is behind you leave. Let the exhaustion of the long waiting leave, flowing out of you with each exhale, released into my keeping. And with each breath in, receive something from me. Breathe in. I am not finished with you. Breathe in. The best part is still coming. Breathe in. The waiting is almost over. Breathe in. You are loved, right now, exactly as you are. Let each breath plant these truths deeper in you, until they are no longer just things you heard tonight, but things you know in the deepest part of yourself, settled into the foundation of who you are, carried with you into all the days ahead. My child, as you rest, let me walk through your body and help you release the tension you have been holding, the physical weight of all the years of waiting. Begin with your forehead, the space between your eyebrows where worry has gathered for so long. Let it soften, let it smooth. Let the furrow of concern dissolve until your face wears the expression of a soul at peace. Let it move down into your jaw, which you have clenched against the weight of so much, and let it loosen, let it soften, let it release. Let it flow down into your neck and your shoulders, those shoulders that have carried the weight of the long waiting, that have been raised and braced for so long that the bracing became their permanent posture. Let them drop. Let them fall away from your ears. Let them finally, fully rest. Let the release flow down through your arms to your hands, and let your hands open, uncurl, soften, no longer clenched around the grievances and the disappointments and the exhausting effort of trying to hold your life together. Let your hands rest open, empty, ready to receive, rather than straining to hold. Let it move down through your chest, where the heaviness has sat like a stone, and let the stone lift. Let your chest open. Let the breath move freely through a body that is finally letting go. Let it flow down through your stomach, where the anxiety has lived as a knot, and let the knot loosen. Let it untie. Let the deep center of your body release into peace, and let it move down through your legs, all the way to your feet, until your entire body, from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, has released the tension of the long waiting and rests, completely held in my presence, at peace in my keeping. This is how your soul can rest too, my child, the way your body is resting now. Let your soul release its grip on the outcome, its anxiety about the timing, its exhausting effort to make the best part come, or to figure out when it will arrive. The best part is in my hands. The timing is in my hands. The bringing of it is my responsibility, not yours, and you can rest from the burden of trying to make it happen. Let your soul rest the way your body is resting, open and soft and at peace, trusting that the best part is coming by my power, arriving in my timing, prepared by my love, and that your only task is to rest in the certainty of it while I do the work of bringing it to you. My child, I want you to feel, as you rest here in the deepening quiet, the particular comfort of being held by one who knows the whole story. You have been living inside the part of the story you can see, the part that looks unfinished and uncertain and stuck. And from inside that part, it has been impossible to feel at peace, because you could not see how it turns out. But I see the whole story. I see the end from the beginning. I see the best part that is coming as clearly as I see the foundation phase you are in now, and I am holding you with the calm and the certainty of one who already knows that it turns out well. Let yourself borrow my certainty tonight, my child. You do not have to generate your own peace from inside a story you cannot see the end of. You can rest in my peace, the peace of the one who sees the whole thing and knows that it is good. Lean into that. Let my knowing of the ending be the ground of your rest tonight. Even though you cannot see the ending yourself, I have seen it, it is good, and you can rest in my having seen it. Feel how the room has grown quiet around you now, my child. Feel how the noise of the day has faded, how the world has softened into the hush of night, how everything has grown still and peaceful and calm. And in that stillness, feel my nearness. I am not far from you tonight. I am here, closer than the air on your skin, closer than the sound of your own breathing, present with you in this room, in this moment, holding you with a tenderness you have rarely let yourself feel. You have spent so much of the long waiting feeling alone, feeling that you were enduring it by yourself, feeling unaccompanied in the dark. But you were never alone, my child, and you are not alone now. I am here. I have always been here. And tonight I want you to feel it, the reality of my presence with you, so that you can carry the felt memory of it into all the nights ahead, and know, whenever the loneliness returns, that it is not the truth, that I am with you, that you have never once been alone in the waiting. Let that presence hold you now, my child, like arms around you, like a warmth wrapping over you, like the safety a child feels held against the chest of a parent who loves them more than life. You can let go completely in those arms. You can release every last bit of the holding on, every last fragment of the vigilance, every last shred of the effort to keep yourself together, because you are held now by arms stronger than your own, and you do not have to hold yourself together when you are being held by me. Sink into it. Let yourself be held. Let the long exhaustion of the waiting finally, fully rest in the arms of the one who has loved you through all of it, and will love you through all that remains. And as you rest in my arms, my child, let your breathing grow even slower, even deeper, even more peaceful. Each breath carrying you further down into rest, further into the quiet, closer to the healing sleep your soul has been longing for. There is nothing to do now but breathe and rest and be held. The best part is coming, and you do not have to bring it. The waiting is almost over, and you do not have to end it. The morning is on its way, and you do not have to hasten it. All of it is in my hands, capable hands, loving hands, hands that are already at work on your behalf even now, while you do nothing but rest. Breathe, my child, rest, be held, and let the certainty of what is coming carry you gently down towards sleep. My child, I want to speak to you about the morning that is coming, the literal morning of tomorrow and every morning after it, because I want you to wake differently now that you know the truth. For so long you have woken into the weight, the heaviness descending before you even opened your eyes, the old despair greeting you at the threshold of consciousness and following you into the day. But now you know something you did not know before. You know that I am not finished with you. You know that the best part is still coming. You know that the morning you wake into is not another day of a finished story, but another day closer to the best part that is on its way. And that knowledge can change the way you wake. It can change the first thought of your day from dread to expectation, from heaviness to hope, from the old belief that nothing will ever change to the new truth that everything is about to. Wake into that truth tomorrow, my child. Let it be the first thing you reach for, before the worries, before the weight, before the old despair tries to reclaim its place. God is not finished with me. The best part is still coming, and today is one day closer. And there is a deeper morning coming too, my child, beyond the morning of tomorrow. There is the morning of your best part, the dawn that will break over the long night of your waiting, the day when everything I have promised you tonight finally arrives in the visible world. That morning is coming as surely as tomorrow's sunrise, because the night does not last forever, because every night that has ever existed has given way to morning, and your night of waiting will give way to morning too. The long night is almost over, my child. The dawn of your best part is almost here, and you will wake into it, finally, after all the long waiting, and you will stand in the light of your best part and remember this night when I told you it was coming, and you will be so glad you held on to see it. Hold on, my child. The morning is coming, both the morning of tomorrow and the morning of your best part. The night is almost over. The dawn is almost here. My child, before I speak the blessings, I want to help you lay down, one by one, the specific weights you have been carrying, so that you can sleep tonight unburdened, truly unburdened, free of the loads that have been pressing on you for so long. So let us do this slowly, deliberately, releasing each weight into my hands, one at a time. Lay down the weight of the disappointment first, my child. All the times you hoped and were not satisfied, all the dreams that did not come, all the plans that fell apart, all the moments you reached for something and it slipped away. Lay all of it down. You do not have to carry the disappointment through the night. Hand it to me. I will hold it. Let it go and feel how much lighter you are without it. Lay down the weight of the comparison next, the constant measuring of your life against the lives of others, the painful accounting of what they have that you do not, the sense of being behind, of being left out, of having missed what everyone else received. Lay it down, my child. Your story is your own, deep and good and not behind anyone's, and you do not have to carry the weight of comparison into your sleep. Hand it to me. Let it go. Lay down the weight of the self-blame, my child, the quiet accusation that has been telling you that the stuckness is your fault, that if you were only better, the best part would have come by now, that your unfulfilled longing is a verdict on your inadequacy. Lay it down. The foundation phase was never your failure but my design, and you do not have to carry the weight of self-blame any longer. Hand it to me. Let it go. Lay down the weight of the fear next, the fear that the best part will never come, the fear that you have already missed it, the fear that you will not be strong enough for it when it does arrive. Lay all of it down, my child. I have answered every one of those fears tonight, and you do not have to carry them through the night. Hand them to me, let them go, and lay down, finally, the heaviest weight of all, the weight of believing that I am finished with you. Lay it down, my child. It is the lie at the root of all the others, and tonight you know it is a lie. I am not finished with you. Lay down the belief that I am, the belief that has weighed on you more heavily than anything else, and feel how, with that weight gone, your whole being can finally rest. You are unburdened now, my child. Every weight laid down, every load handed to me, every heavy thing released into the hands of the one who is strong enough to carry what you could not. Rest now in the lightness of being unburdened. This is how I want you to sleep tonight, free of all of it, every weight laid down, resting in my keeping. Feel that lightness now, my child. Feel how it is to be free of the weights you have carried for so long. This is a foretaste of the best part, this lightness, this freedom, this rest. The best part of your story will feel like this, like the laying down of every heavy thing, like the freedom of a soul unburdened, like the rest of one who has finally come home. And you can taste it tonight, even before the best part arrives, in the simple act of laying down your weights and resting in my arms. Let the lightness hold you, let the freedom carry you towards sleep, and let the foretaste of the best part, experienced tonight in the laying down of your burdens, fill you with hope for the fullness of it that is coming. My child, let yourself rest now in being loved, simply and completely loved, apart from everything that is coming, apart from the best part, apart from all the promises, just loved, right now, in this moment, exactly as you are. You have spent so long feeling that you had to earn your worth, that you had to achieve something, become something, receive something before you could be considered worthy of love. But you are loved now, tonight, in the foundation phase, in the waiting, in the very season you thought proved you were forgotten. You are loved, my child, not for what you will become in the best part of your story, but for who you are right now, the tired, hoping, faithful soul who has endured so much and is still here. Rest in that love. Let it be enough for tonight. Let it hold you as you drift towards sleep, the simple, profound, unearnable love of the God who made you and delights in you and is not finished with you. The love that has held you through every season and will hold you through every season still to come. And as you rest in that love, my child, let it heal the places in you that the long waiting has wounded. Let it reach the part of you that began to believe you were not worth a best part, and let it tell that part the truth, that you are deeply and completely worth loving, worth waiting for, worth the best part I have prepared. Let the love reach the part of you that grew bitter, or afraid, or hopeless in the long waiting, and let it soften that part, soothe it, restore it. Let my love do its healing work in you tonight, in the deep places, while you rest, so that you wake tomorrow not only with hope for the best part, but with a heart that has been touched and mended and restored by the love that has never let you go. You are loved, my child. Rest in it. Be healed by it, and let it carry you down into the deepest, most peaceful sleep you have known in a very long time. Type in the comments right now, I lay it all down, as the declaration of a soul that has handed every weight to God. The disappointment and the comparison and the self-blame and the fear and the lie that he was finished. Resting now in the lightness of being fully unburdened. I lay it all down. My child, as you rest here now, unburdened and held and loved, I want you to receive a peace that is deeper than any peace your circumstances could give you. It is the peace that comes not from everything being resolved, because not everything is resolved yet, but from being held by one who has everything in hand. It is the peace that the world cannot give and cannot take away, because it does not depend on the world, on circumstances, on whether the best part has arrived yet. It depends only on me, on my presence, on my faithfulness, on my love, all of which are unchanging and unshakable and entirely yours. Let that peace settle over you now, my child, like a warm covering on a cold night, like the stillness that falls over the earth in the deepest part of the night, like the calm of a soul that has finally come to rest in the arms of the one it can fully trust. You are at peace, my child, not because everything is resolved, but because you are held by the one who holds all things, and in his hands you are safe and at peace and free to rest. Let the peace deepen now, my child, with each breath, with each moment, with each second that you rest here in my presence. Let it reach the places in you that have not known peace for so long, the anxious places, the fearful places, the places that have been braced and vigilant and unable to rest. Let the peace reach all of them, soften all of them, still all of them, until your whole being is at rest, at peace, held in the deep calm of my presence. This is the rest your soul has been longing for, through all the long seasons of waiting. This is the peace you have needed, and it is yours tonight, fully, freely, a gift from the one who loves you and is not finished with you, and is holding you now in the deepest peace you have known in a very long time. Rest in it, my child. Let it carry you down into sleep, and let it remain with you, this peace, into the morning and into all the days ahead, the unshakable peace of a soul that knows it is held. Type in the comments right now, "I receive this peace," as the declaration of a soul that receives the deep, unshakable peace of being held by God, the peace that does not depend on circumstances, but only on His presence and His love. I receive this peace. My child, let me speak the blessings over you now, the ones I want you to carry into your sleep tonight and into all the days of waiting that remain, so that they can work in you in the deep places that only open in rest. Over the lie that your best is behind you, I speak this. It is broken. The belief that has weighed on you for so long, the conviction that your meaningful days are over and only decline remains, is shattered tonight by the truth, and it will not have power over you the way it did before. Your best is not behind you, my child. Your best is ahead of you, in the chapter not yet written, in the part of the story you cannot see yet, coming closer with every day. The lie is broken, the truth stands. Your best is yet to come. Over your long waiting, I speak this. It has not been wasted. Every season of it was the foundation phase, the deep invisible work of preparing you and your circumstances for the best part that is coming. Nothing was lost in the waiting. Nothing was for nothing. The waiting was building, the whole time, the foundation for a rising worth all the years it took to dig. Your waiting has not been in vain, my child. It has been the very thing that made your best part possible. Over your buried dreams, I speak this. They are not forgotten. The specific longings of your heart, the particular dreams you gave up on, are known to me and held by me, kept safe in a place where they have not decayed, and some of them are about to be resurrected in the best part of your story. The dreams you buried are not gone forever, my child. Some of them are about to live again, and the joy of their resurrection will be greater for all the years you spent believing they were dead. Over your tired heart, I speak this. It will be renewed. The exhaustion you carry, the weariness of the long waiting, is not the permanent condition of your soul. It is the tiredness of a season that is ending, and the strength that will be renewed in you is about to be put to its true use in the best part of your story. Your tired heart will be renewed, my child. The exhaustion is ending. The renewal is coming. Over your future, I speak this. It is good. The best part of your story is real, and it is coming. And it contains purpose and connection and restoration and peace and a deepened knowing of me, all of it prepared specifically for you, all of it flowing from a love that has never wavered. Your future is good, my child. Your future is bright. Your future is the best part of your story, and it is closer than you have dared to believe. And over you, my child, the whole of you, I speak this. I am not finished with you. I have never been finished with you. And I will not be finished with you until the very last page of your story is written. And the last page is not the page you are on now. There are chapters ahead, the best chapters, the ones everything else has been preparing. I am not finished with you, my child. The best is yet to come. My child, let me hold you here in the quiet a little longer, because I am in no hurry to leave you, and there is a healing that happens in the unhurried lingering, when a soul is allowed simply to rest in love without being rushed toward anything at all. So stay here with me in the stillness. There is nothing you need to do. There is nowhere you need to be. There is no problem you need to solve tonight, no outcome you need to secure, no future you need to figure out. All of that can wait for the morning, and even in the morning, much of it is mine to carry and not yours. For now, in this moment, there is only rest and my presence and the deep quiet of a night in which you are held by the one who loves you and is not finished with you. Let your mind grow quiet now, my child. The thoughts that have raced through so many of your nights, the endless turning over of worries and what-ifs and calculations, let them slow and settle now, like sediment drifting to the bottom of still water, until your mind is clear and calm and at peace. You do not have to think tonight. You do not have to solve anything. You do not have to figure out how the best part will come, or when it will arrive, or what you must do to be ready. All of that is held in hands far more capable than your own. And tonight you are free to set your mind down, along with every other weight, and simply rest. Let the quiet take your thoughts. Let the stillness still your mind. Let the peace carry you down, deeper and deeper, toward the healing sleep your soul has needed for so long. And as you drift now, my child, toward the edge of sleep, let the last awareness in your mind be the awareness of my presence with you, near and warm and unshakable, holding you through the night, watching over you as you sleep, present in every moment of the darkness, never leaving, never looking away, never for an instant forgetting the soul I love so deeply. You are safe tonight, my child. You are held tonight. You are loved tonight. And whatever tomorrow brings, you do not face it alone, because I am with you, in the night and in the morning, in the waiting and in the best part, in this moment and in every moment still to come. Rest in my presence, my child. Let it be the last thing you know as sleep takes you, the warm and certain knowledge that you are not alone, that you are held, that the one who made you is with you and will never leave. Let your body be heavy now, my child. Let the surface beneath you hold your full weight, every muscle releasing, every part of you sinking into rest. Let the last of the tension drain away, from your shoulders, from your jaw, from your hands, from every place that has been holding the weight of the long waiting. You are released now. You are unburdened now. You are at peace now. And the night ahead is not a canvas for your anxiety, but a covering of rest, woven for you by the one who loves you, to restore your tired soul and renew your weary heart and carry you gently toward the morning. Sleep now, my child. Rest now. You are held. My child, let these blessings settle into you as you drift toward sleep now. Let your body be heavy and your mind be quiet and your heart be at peace. You do not have to stay awake for anything tonight. You do not have to keep watch. I am keeping watch. I am here through the whole night, attentive to every breath, present in every moment, holding you as you sleep, working even now, while you rest, on the best part of your story that is coming. Sleep, my child, in the certainty of what is ahead. Sleep in the truth that I am not finished with you. Sleep in the peace of knowing that the best part is coming, that the waiting is almost over, that you are loved beyond measure by the one who made you and who is not done with your story. And when you wake tomorrow, my child, carry tonight with you into the morning. Let the first thought of your day be the truth that found you tonight. Before the worries rush in, before the old despair tries to reclaim its place, remember, God is not finished with me. The best part of my story has not yet happened. Let it be the foundation you build the day on. And when the doubt returns, as I told you it would, return to the truth, declare it, hold on to it, until the feeling of tonight that has faded is replaced by the experience of the best part itself, finally arriving, proving everything I told you tonight was true. Before you sleep, my child, do one last thing. Type in the comments the words "I am not finished." Say it as a declaration over your own life, the truth that your story is not over, that your best is not behind you, that the God who made you is not done writing your story. I am not finished. Say it for yourself as a marker of the truth you received tonight. And say it for the person reading alongside you, the one who is also tempted to believe their best days are behind them, who needs to see someone else declare that they are not finished so that they can find the courage to declare it too. I am not finished. And if this message reached you tonight, my child, if it found you in the place where you had nearly given up on your own story and lifted your eyes to the best part that is still coming, then share it with someone, the name that just came to your mind, the person you know who has been struggling, who has grown quiet, who carries the same heavy belief that their best days are behind them. Send this to them. Let it reach them the way it reached you. Let me speak to them through you, the way I have spoken to you tonight, the truth that I am not finished with them either, that their best part is still coming, that their story is not over. You may be the one I use to reach them at the very moment they most need to hear it. The truth I gave you tonight was not only for you, my child. It was meant to flow through you, to reach others through you, to become in your hands a gift to someone else who is waiting in the dark for exactly this hope. Share it, and let them know, as you now know, that they are not finished either. I love you, my child. I have loved you through every season of the long waiting, and I love you now, and I will love you in the best part of your story that is coming. I am not finished with you, not now, not ever, until the very best of your story has been fully written and you stand in the finished glory of everything I prepared. Rest now, my beloved child. The waiting is almost over. The best part is almost here, and I am not finished with you. Sleep now and wake tomorrow, knowing that the best part of your story is still ahead, closer than you have ever dared to believe, prepared by a love that has never let you go and never will. I am not finished with you, my child. The best is yet to come.